Hello everybody, this is Joker Movie Countdowns here, counting down the 90s today. This will be a controversial list for what little viewers I have, because two, actually, of the Holy Trinity of 1994 will not be on the list. Only one of them, only one of Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, and Forrest Gump will be on this list today. Which one will it be? Find out later on in the video. Anyway, just a little note before we start. As usual, this is not my personal favourite. If it was my personal favourites list, Forrest Gump would be number one, Goodfellas would be number two, and I have no idea what the rest of them would be. And yeah, this is just what I think are the best, what I think have the most artistic merit. So yeah, let's get started. And at number 5, The Sweet Hereafter, a small, I think, Canadian film about a bus that crashes, a school bus that crashes, and this small town that has to deal with this tragedy. And it is a masterpiece. I know I'm throwing this word around a lot in these videos, but when best of the decade on these lists, it will come up. And I think this is one that truly deserves it, even though it's at number 5. The only reason it isn't higher is that maybe not enough people have seen it, so maybe that, I don't know, is that a sign of that it's not as great as the others on this list? Because I know the others on this list will be ones that most people have heard of. Yeah, I don't know. It's truly spectacular. I've not come across anything like it, I don't think, ever. It's amazing. On to number 4. At number 4, one of Steven Spielberg's best films. Is it Jurassic Park? Is it Saving Private Ryan? No, it's Schindler's List. Steven Spielberg's film on the Holocaust. This is absolutely gut-wrenching. This movie is one of the saddest ever. I don't really want to talk about it, because I feel like whatever I say is not going to be what the film deserves. I don't think I can put into words just how good this movie is. I mean, it's not super rewatchable, is probably why it's not higher. It's only at number 4. But yeah, it is amazing. Like, I think it probably has... I could think of 3 moments that would be up there on the saddest moments in cinema history in this movie, and I will not spoil it, because I know most of my friends, that are probably the only people going to be watching this video, have not seen this movie, and I really want them to, and if I spoil it, it's just going to be, oh no, you can't see Schindler's List now, because you've spoiled it for me. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to implore you to watch it, because I cannot put it into words just how good this movie is. Steven Spielberg, not quite his best film. I don't think, probably Jaws is, but it's definitely up there. And at number 3, we have one of my personal favourites of all time, Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, a film that sort of brought him back into the spotlight after some smaller 80s movies. Not his best movie, that honour goes to Raging Bull, but it is still amazing. And if you tell someone, hey, you want to watch one of Martin Scorsese's best movies, then you know it's one of the best of all time, because the man is amazing at what he does. Every single shot in this movie is infused, well, the first half anyway, is infused with energy. The second half, of course, he's on cocaine or whatever he's on, and the life's meant to be less appealing, and that's the direction he goes down. And it's genius. I've never seen anything like it. well, after the movie was made, I've seen copiers. But before the movie, pre-1990, there was nothing like Goodfellas, and it's amazing. I mean, it's probably one of the definitive mob movies, up there with Casino, another of Scorsese's best. That was, again, almost on this list. I'm not sure whether to call The Godfather a mob movie. It's probably more of a... I know some people get a bit iffy with mob and gangster are different things, so I'm just not gonna say anything about that. I'd probably, if I had to say one, I'd say The Godfather's more of a gangster movie and Goodfellas more of a mob movie, so yeah, anyway, on to number 2. At number 2, probably, if you watch my last video, you know what this is going to be, because it hasn't appeared already. Toy Story. Pixar's best. The first movie that was ever fully computer animated. First feature film, which I believe means it has to be over an hour or something, that is fully computer animated. I think it's about an hour 20. And if you say those two things to somebody, then it's just the highest praise you could probably ever give anything. Because when this movie came out, for kids, it was amazing, because it taught them, how to let go of loved ones and stuff when you're putting your toys back in the toy box. Sort of a weird metaphor, but, I mean, it works. Which is due to, John Lasseter, I think. I really don't want to get this wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's John Lasseter. But, yeah, Woody, Tom Hanks is, I think... for some reason, I don't think people give enough praise to Tom Hanks as Woody. I think he's hilarious, actually. And, when people say best voice performances, they always say Ellen and Finding Nemo, and not much else. I really like Woody and Tom Hanks and as Woody in Toy Story. I mean, yeah, there's just so many great characters, and it's a good kids movie if it is enjoyable for both children and adults, which is really what you need to do, and I think they've done it. I mean, I think it is the best animated movie of all time. I'm gonna go out and say it. I think it is. Oh, maybe Pinocchio. I take that back, it's probably Pinocchio. Anyway, I'll shut up now and go on to number 1. And the number 1 movie of this decade, the 90s, is Pulp Fiction. This movie is so good. Quentin Tarantino is a master of his craft. He hasn't done anything as good as this. He probably will not ever do anything as good as this. I think this remains his masterpiece. The closest to beating this is probably Reservoir Dogs. It was almost going to go on this list, Reservoir Dogs, actually, but just missed out. Yeah, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is great. Pretty sure he was nominated for an Oscar, and I think quite a few people got angry he didn't win. Yeah, John Travolta was relevant. He is now not. Battlefield Earth and a couple other flops of his have made it that way. I mean, yeah, the watch scene with Christopher Walken is just great. I mean, the whole sort of non-linear storytelling of this movie is fantastic. It had such a big influence on the decade. There's so many imitators, so many imitators. Not as many as Die Hard, but there's still a ton. And yeah, this movie is the best of this decade. I think it stands above all others. Yeah, so that's the 90s. Write down in the comments if you disagree. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people saying Shawshank Redemption should have been in here. So many other things that I could have chosen. Again, 5 it's really hard to condense so many great movies into the list of 5. So, yeah, stick around. Next time, probably be doing the 80s. I'm not too sure when that's going to come. This isn't really scheduled at all. So, yeah. Goodbye.